What's going on, guys? So, looks like I'm back again, back already. Looking at my charts up here, doesn't look like there's going to be a lot more opportunities. Maybe, but I think I'm done. I'm kind of just out of it now. I made a lot of money today. I did well, and I'm happy about that, and I don't want to screw it up. I've kind of removed myself from the zone. Not purposely, I don't feel like I'm in the zone anymore for the market. I would highly recommend reading Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. I may or may not have it for free on my Discord, but I'm going to say that I don't because that would be very illegal. So let's just say I don't have it, but you should join the Discord. Anyways, I'll have a link down there. What else do I want to talk about today? So I've been doing really well recently with options. I've made something stupid like over 200% on the account so far this month. If I go up here to account management, where is it? If I go to month to date, just like that's insane. Like that's insane. Yeah, every day has just been great, and I don't feel like it's a gamble. I don't feel like I'm getting lucky. A lot of the trades I used to do in penny stocks were impulsive. They were without a plan. They were pretty much gambling. Whereas with what I'm doing now, I feel like I'm selling early. I'm taking my profits early. I'm making a lot of mistakes. So there's still a lot of potential for upside in the way that I'm trading. And not to mention that I'm also trading very well at the same time. I'm waiting for my entries. I'm waiting for decent exits. I'm not falling victim to FOMO, to any of that other stuff. Because when you're wrong with options, like I said, you're really wrong. So like a 5% loser would actually be like a 30% loser. So I don't want to ever see that. I don't want to have my spiraling red days. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to pay the tax man on that in terms of my red days. I'm obviously going to give some back. My goal was just to finish 100%, so doubling the account the whole month. So I have a lot of ways to go still, just to not screw up. And these are some big days, bigger than I used to have with a lot of my penny stock days. But I'm just trying to take it easy, not get too excited. You know, this is just business. I'm still learning. I'm still gonna improve on that, and I'm just not gonna make any fatal mistakes. That's the point. Just to stay alive and continue improving. So that said, let's get into the trades. But first, you know, I've hopped back on the YouTube wagon. I'm excited to be back. I took some time off. I really needed it. I'm hoping that you guys can subscribe if you like these videos. But what I really want you to do, if you can, is please follow me on Instagram. I love having those IG followers. You know, who doesn't? My handle or my tag, whatever, is learning_to_day_trade. I'll put that down there. Kind of looks like this right here. I don't know if you can see that. That's what my profile looks like. Hopefully you guys can give me a follow. That'd be sweet. All right, let's get into the trades. I've been talking for too long. So I have the video here. I traded... let me show you my P&L and which ones I traded. Traded Apple, I traded Microsoft, I traded the SPY, and I traded Tesla for some very nice winners. So let's do them in order. The first one I saw was Apple. Hold on a second here. Where is my dashboard? There it is. So I was waiting. I accidentally stopped recording, and I don't know where I stopped recording. So we're on the Apple trade here, and I was waiting for Apple to make a move towards the downside. So yesterday we had a giant inverted hammer candle. The SPY was selling off, and Apple had some really bad news with the tariffs. Trump tweeted yesterday that the tariffs would affect their sales or something, so I expected a continuation of this sell-off. So we closed yesterday very bearish. You can see we broke under the low of day, and I think we closed under it. Yeah, we did. Apparently this line is the close, and we closed under that. So I saw a continued move to the downside today on Apple. I was just waiting for a surge because we know that sometimes these stocks can surge in the wrong direction on the way up, and I know that that point of resistance is both the low of the day from yesterday and the close, and both of those are right here. So I was just waiting for that to happen. I started with 5 contracts. Now I used, you can just see which contracts I use. I don't want to go over which ones. I always use the shortest expiry contract. Now this one expires in 3 days. They just have more exaggerated moves, and I'm going to be in and out so quickly that I want a more exaggerated move. So I'm not going to be holding these overnight. I'm not going to take the monthly contracts. There's no point. So I took a starter there, and I was waiting to see if this was going to continue pushing, or if it was going to finally do the move and die. Now, I wasn't adding to full size yet because I didn't know exactly when that was going to happen. So I'm getting ready to close the position if this goes too crazy against me. Again, my unrealized is not that bad right now. I'm just kind of feeling it out. I know that this is going to reverse. That's my plan. That is that it's going to reverse at some point and jam through the low of day. So I said to myself, the next resistance point was this part on the... I used the 3-minute chart, but it's the high right before the close of yesterday. So we made it right up to there. I was waiting for it to die right here to show some really big resistance, and there. I added 4 more contracts to bring me up close to full size here at 9 contracts. I hope that music isn't too loud. It's kind of crazy. And yeah, then the move started. We started to die. We had an inverted hammer here on the 3-minute. This is just looking absolutely beautiful. Now, I don't know where it's going to stop. And I think I made a mistake by taking 5 contracts off right here. I took off 5 contracts at the low of day just to secure some profit. But I had such a good entry that I should have held on, because look what happened. It just... I sold the contract at 209. Look at what they're at. Like... look at what they're at right now, man. I could have locked in another like $400 or something, because I got in initially at like 195 or so. Yeah, 195 as an average, and now they're already up at 256 just from that move. Watch that move one more time. So I sell here. Boom, boom, I sold 5, and then we broke through that level at low of day, and we're already at, oh my god, I took off another 3 right there, and then, oh Jesus, like if I had held on to that. So it hit my target here, so I'm starting to scale out, and I have no contracts left now. So I was in around 195, and I was scaling out towards 250. I sold the first more than half, actually, way too early right here. So I'm using the underlying to gauge whether or when or not to sell the options. So I'm pretty much day trading large caps now. So I just use windows, I use levels, I use trends, and my target here was 219. Now that target, I guess this will be useful if I tell you where the target was 219.15. If we go back, sorry, there's so many lines. Don't get confused by these lines. It doesn't really matter. 219.15. Where is that? 219.15 was right at around the top of this window here. If you look back on the daily, there was a window. I think that's why I put that there. So these stocks really respect levels while they're in these runs. So that's why I always mark them out. I always look for them on the daily, and sure enough, we went right to it, and then we kept going to my next level even. And we're in this longer term kind of bearish channel, so we hit the top of it yesterday, and it respects it so beautifully. And then we sold off, and we were trying to make our way down to the bottom of it, but we didn't. So anyways, that's where I got my target from. So on the next trade, let's just go right to the next one. I was also watching Tesla. So I took a starter here of 2 contracts. I was waiting for it to break down, and I wanted it to break down under this critical level that I had, 275.30. Now, where did I get that level? I'll show you. So on Tesla, 275.30. was... I'm going to have to find it because... What did I say? Remove everything. 275.30. So it was right around here. So if I look here on the daily chart, I believe it was the low of... Was it 276.30? 275.30. Okay, that makes more sense. 275.30. So you can see here on the daily, this is a level based on the daily chart from here back in May. There's a lot of resistance down here. And also, we almost touched the bottom of it here at a couple days ago on September the 5th. Now, I'm not exactly sure why it doesn't line up correctly. There must have been a good reason, but it was from the daily chart. Now, I don't want to spend all my time here just trying to figure that out and not going over the trade. So let's go over the trade. So that is the level here, and my target was 273.22. That was my first target, which is the low of day. You can see here very easily that's the low of day. So 2 contracts, where is it? 2 contracts here. So at that first target, I wanted to see it break down even further like it did with Apple. And I knew with Apple I sold too early, so I told myself, all right, I'm just going to wait and we'll see what happens here. Now, it came back up to my entry, so I sold right away. It's a very good habit to have. I didn't know if it would continue, and then I saw the continuation, so I added back into it with 3 contracts this time because I saw the breakdown through the lows, and my stop was 274.40. So a very tight stop. I'm already up pretty decently on it with 3 contracts that would be an $1,800 position or so at $6 each. So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the target, which is the bottom of this trend line that I drew. Again, you get these levels from drawing trend lines on the daily, or you draw them on the multi-day when you're on the 15-minute, like the 15-minute right here. I think I used this line right here. I was just trying to find a line that was in between this window that was above this level right here, because I didn't think we would make it all the way down there, but I was trying to figure out where the heck we could make it to. So this line right here gave me an initial target, and sure enough, look, it followed that exactly. So these stocks respect these lines very, very intensely. So we made it down towards there, and I started selling as we got towards it. And again, I sell too early. This is an example of me selling a little early. I have 1 contract left, and I wait for it to get pretty close to it, and then I sell out. So that was the Tesla trade. Let me know if I'm explaining these well. I feel like I am, but maybe I'm not. Now, my next trade here was the SPY. So the first 2 trades I saw broke under the low of day and go into these windows, so these gaps. And a big thing with these big stocks is they gap fill. They tend to fill these gaps. So yesterday, the SPY gapped down, and it filled the gap almost immediately. So now we're gapping up from yesterday, and I think we're going to gap down. Now, this is looking really bearish. I saw it up here on my monitor, and then I pulled it up here on my main execution chart, or my execution monitor, and I started taking a position in this area. Now, my stop was if we made it above this level, and I was just getting in anticipation for the move into the window. I wasn't completely sure where my target was for this one. I think it was this trend line. See what I did here. I was trying to find a good exit here, you can see. And that, again, which is how I got the Tesla exit, is where I drew this line. So it's a lot to take into account, but you'll slowly get the hang of it. If you just see, like if you let moves happen and you just start randomly drawing lines, you'll see that they actually line up. So you'll just start making better decisions the more you do this. So I'm waiting for this stock, or waiting for the SPY to break down. I start taking a lot of my profits down here as we approach that target. I just drew that trend line I just showed you. So that's my target. So my risk here was very, very small. I would say maybe $20, $30, and my eventual profit on the trade was 148. So Cannot complain about that, of course. I think that's all the trades. Was there one more? I think I already showed it. Yeah, so that's been me. What I've been doing recently, trading options. I've been doing really well. I'm just hoping I don't not blow up the account, but you know my red days are really, really terrible, typically. So I've been doing a lot of reading. I've been doing a lot of listening to podcasts and just making sure that I'm in the right mental space to handle a loss. I know that this is not sustainable. I can't keep up, you know, making very high double-digit percentages every day. But I know that I got here from discipline. I'm not gambling in these trades. You can see I have very clear-cut risk, reward, and plans. So I don't think this is just pure luck. I mean, it sounds insane what I've done so far, but I've done it from a clear plan and just a place of discipline rather than emotion. Like, I'm not going crazy now that I had my first $1,000 day on options. It's just a part of the business, a part of the plan. Much as when I have a losing day, I'm gonna keep myself composed. Maybe I'll lose $200, and I'm not gonna be upset that my 212% is now only 100 and whatever percent. So, enough with that said. If you guys have questions, leave them down there. I'll answer all of them. I'm gonna go take a break. You know, I don't want to get too crazy back into YouTube already, and just kind of have the same things that happened last time happen again. So with that, please subscribe and follow me on Instagram. Maybe join the Discord. All that information is going to be right down there. If not, that's fine. You know, just leave a comment or let me know what you think, or just we'll see you tomorrow. Either way. So you guys have a great day. Apparently I need to activate Windows. Cool. So I'm going to do that, and we'll see you tomorrow.